How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah? Welcome to another edition of Southern Sam's Barbecue. This is going to be an instructional video on how to prep and smoke ribs. I got a few slabs of St. Louis style ribs, if you can see them here. I prefer to use the Smithfield Extra Tender. I get them from Walmart. I don't normally buy rib or any type of meat from Walmart for the most part, but I have had pretty good luck with the Smithfields. They're very meaty ribs. Really, I've had no complaints out of them so far. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut the membrane off. And if you don't know what the membrane is, let me show you here. Right around in here, there is a little flap of what they call membrane. It's a very thin flap of membrane. And basically the reason that we decided to cut this off is because rub will not penetrate through that membrane. So I know there's people out there that say yes to cut it off, no to cut it off. This is just what I prefer. So let me put this back up here. That's what we're going to start with today, is cutting the membrane off. Now, I always wear gloves when dealing with meat. One of these slabs is going to be for me tomorrow. Another slab is going to be for sale for a friend of mine who's in town for her birthday. First thing you'll want is an extremely sharp knife. And this one right here, this is a Dexter boning knife. I got this at Restaurant Depot for about, I want to say it was like 15-20 bucks. And I got a good friend of mine. I'm going to put a plug in here for him. His name's Josh Steelman with Copperhead Designs. He's out of Mission, Kansas. I took my knives to him the other night, and he put an absolute razor edge on them. So if any of you are barbecue enthusiasts or cook enthusiasts, you know, whatever, and want a good person to sharpen your knives, he's a good person to go to. Check him out on Facebook, Copperhead Designs. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I forgot to get paper towel, so give me 1 second. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start cutting into this membrane. Now really what you want to do is just go to the edge here and just take a little bit, get underneath that membrane, and just peel it from the bone. Sometimes it's a little more difficult than others. Some people say taking a butter knife, you know, and doing the same thing. But my thing is if you have a really sharp knife, you're going to have no problem. So just get enough of that on there, and then take your paper towel and grab it, and it should pull off. Like I said, sometimes it's a little more difficult than others. Sometimes it pulls off in one piece, sometimes it doesn't, but you kind of see there, that's the membrane that you want to pull off. Let's go ahead and pull the rest of this off. Sorry if you guys hear some background music or whatnot. my son's in the living room watching a movie, so hopefully that doesn't affect too much of this. Okay. Let me grab the camera here so you guys can see the difference. See the difference? See how much different that looks taking the membrane off? Another thing is sometimes that membrane makes it extremely chewy on the underside, and you just really don't want that. So I'm just gonna do one of these racks for now, just for demonstration purposes. And then of course, we got our Texas Swine Shine Rib Rub. With the amount of brown sugar in it, sometimes a good little shake works wonders. And for me, on my rubs, I run them through a sifter, and that's because I like a nice even coat on my rubs, and the sifter helps with that. So literally just fill up the sifter and let it go out of the way. Another thing a sifter does is actually helps the rub get all nice and mixed up too. You know, because over time rub will you know, the spices will settle. Get all sides. Once you get the top, go ahead and get the side. Flip it over. And a nice coat all the way around. One little last dusting. Show you how these look. Sorry, when I grabbed the camera I pushed the wrong button and canceled the video, so but anyway, here's what they look like with the rub on them. So after I got the rub applied to them, I'm gonna let them sit overnight in the fridge, let that rub soak in real nice. And then once we're ready to hit the smoke, we'll go ahead and throw them on the pit. For those of you who don't know, I run an Old Country Pecos pit. Got it from Academy. Show you more of it tomorrow. Talk about it more tomorrow. But anyway, right now that's all I do for rib prep. This is strictly for home cooking. I may or may not do a competition style rib before too long, but you know, who knows. But right now this is just for home cooking. So we will see you in the morning as we throw these ribs on the smoker. Alright, well, we're back at it this morning. As you can see, I've got my chimney started here. This is how I start my coals. You can see it's starting to get up. Just put some paper in the bottom of it, fill it with charcoal, and light it. That's what I use to light it. And this is my pit, my Old Country. We got some rain last night, so little specks of rain. And this is the charcoal I use. Use the Kingsford Professional. I do realize that it burns hotter, and last longer. The only place I've been able to find it, though, unfortunately, is out at Costco. So I don't know any other place, at least around here in the Kansas City area, that sells it. As you can see, I've got a bed of unlit coals in my firebox. I'm going to put the lit coals on top of those once they get ready. So just giving you guys a little deal on how I get my pit up and going. We'll see in a little bit. Alright, well, I couldn't hold the camera and put the ribs on the smoker at the same time. So, they are on. I literally just put them on right before I started this video. So we will check in probably in the next hour, 45 minutes to an hour or so, and we will start spritzing these. Alright, it's been about 45 minutes or so, and we're going to open up the pit and we're going to spritz these down. Got good color on them. Now, when I spritz, all I use is just a bottle of straight apple juice, and it doesn't matter what brand or anything like that. I just buy the cheap stuff and just give them a quick spritz. My nozzle's messing up on me. But anyway, yeah, that's really all the spritz is. Basically all this does is help ensure moisture, help them not dry out. But yeah, that's the spritzing part. We'll be back in a little bit. Probably next time I see you, we'll be wrapping these bad boys up. Just to give you guys a sense on what I run my pit at, I run my pit between 275 and 300. Now that might be a little higher than some people run their pits, but this is the sweet spot that I've found on this pit. It runs great, runs the nice thin blue smoke at that temperature, which is what you're wanting. So I just wanted to give you guys a sense on what I run my pit at. As you can see, it's climbing a little bit. I just opened up the door because I did have a spike in temperature. I got up to almost 325 degrees, which is not what I want, but anyway, that's what I run my pit at. Alright, now we're ready to wrap these. They're looking good. Try and do this with one hand, if I can. Lay them out on the foil. Now I got 2 layers of foil here. Take this glove off. I got I double wrap when I wrap my ribs, or any kind of meat for that matter, and just give them a nice little spritz. That in, that in. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed sucks. And there we go. And then put it back on the smoker. So that's the wrapping part. Next time you see me, these will be done. Okay, so the ribs are done. I went ahead and sliced them up. I usually, I know a lot of people don't probe their ribs, but I do. I pull them at about 165, 170. You can see how tender these are. Almost fall off the bone. See the nice color on that. Nice little smoke ring. Yeah, these turned out real good. And that is how I do my ribs. Thanks for watching.